I think it's very interesting that after all offseason of Ian Rappaport saying, don't be surprised if Sam Darnold starts week 1 for the 49ers, all of a sudden, he goes on Pat McAfee's show and says, hey, the Niners called me up and pushed back on that and said, why would you discount Trey Lance? Really? All of a sudden, after letting the entire Bay Area and national sports journalism community run wild with Sam Darnold speculation for months, now you want to set the record straight and say, I don't know why you would discount Trey Lance. Oh, maybe it's because you were trying to shop him during the draft. Maybe it's because you haven't said anything nice about Trey Lance other than he's a good kid for years. Maybe it's because George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey are sitting courtside with Sam Darnold at every Warriors game. Maybe it's because Kyle Shanahan said Sam Darnold has as good of a skill set as there is, literally. Maybe it's because Matt Mayoko, the senior reporter on the beat who's more connected to the front office and organization than anyone, said that Sam Darnold has the best arm any 49ers quarterback has ever had. Maybe it's because of all of that stuff. I think it's pretty obvious that the 49ers want to trade Trey Lance. I think it's also pretty obvious that they're not getting any good offers. And the reason for that is how they've handled Sam Darnold. They have created the impression that they think Sam Darnold is better than Trey Lance. And from the rest of the league's perspective, that doesn't say anything about Darnold. That says everything about Lance to them. They're looking at the Niners thinking, oh my God, you think Trey Lance is worse than Sam Darnold? That's how little you think of Trey Lance. No one else knows about Trey Lance. He's the biggest mystery in the league. The Niners are the one that sees him behind closed doors. And they're the ones that are bringing in Sam Darnold and singing Sam Darnold's praises. It backfired big time. I don't think the Niners thought of that. They wanted to bring in a backup just in case Brock Purdy isn't ready. They brought in Sam Darnold, started talking him up and didn't realize that that alone would tank Trey Lance's trade value if there was any. So what are they trying to do? Pump it up. Pump and dump. They tried it with Jimmy. They failed. They're trying the pump and dump with Trey Lance. We like Trey Lance. Oh, now you say it. Weeks after the draft. We like Trey Lance. Why would anyone think we don't like Trey Lance? Why would anyone think we prefer Sam Darnold? Trey Lance is going to be the guy. And I believe it. This is what you call the pump and dump. They tried to trade him during the draft. Most likely they didn't get what they wanted. They're not done trying to trade this guy. So what they'll do is they'll say, oh, we like it. Or they won't even say they like him. They'll whisper to Ian Rappaport, why would you think we don't like him? No one on the record says it. They don't even say they like him. They ask a rhetorical question. Why would you think we are counting him out? Why would you count him out? Ian Rappaport doesn't even believe him. He's like, well, look at your actions. So here's what they'll do. Now that they're doing OTAs, you're going to see the 49ers team website put a lot of pictures of their players on the website. You are going to see a ton of Trey Lance pictures. Trey Lance under center. Trey Lance warming up. Trey Lance smiling. Trey Lance with his teammates. And it's all an attempt to make it seem like the 49ers are really excited about Trey Lance, which they haven't really hid very well that they're not. Keep in mind, they're awful at evaluating quarterbacks. I'm not on their side here. I'm just trying to describe and predict what they're going to do. A lot of pictures of Trey Lance, a lot of empty compliments of Trey Lance, a lot of glowing reports of practice from Trey Lance. And you're not going to hear people talk very much about Sam Darnold. I'm guessing Trey Lance will start week 1. I'm guessing this is all an effort to pump up his trade value because the Niners know they can start slow and finish fast. They've done it 2 years in a row. They can put Trey Lance out there. If they lose a few games to start the season, oh well, because Brock can come back and they have Sam Darnold. And think about what the plan is for Sam Darnold. It's not to start in week 1. The whole idea with Darnold is if they can do what they did with Brock, they could do it again with Sam. What they did with Brock was shelve him until week 13. He needed to learn the offense. He needed some time in practice to get a rhythm with the players. They didn't just throw him in week 3 when Trey went down. No, they waited until week 13. I think that's the plan with Sam. If he's going to play this year, it's going to be November, December, late. It's a very, very dense playbook. And he's a seasoned vet compared to Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. They can shelve him. He'll be ready if they need him. Plus, at that point, their offense should be clicking. So I don't think the plan was ever to start Sam Darnold week one. I do think the plan was always to pump and dump Trey Lance if they can. They just didn't understand how signing Sam Darnold and praising him so much would actually hurt Trey Lance's trade value, which is crazy because they do a really good job of hurting their own quarterback's trade value. I mean, they make it real clear that they don't like Jimmy Garoppolo, and they try to trade him, and they act like they're surprised that no one likes him either. Like, they agree with you. They have the whole league agrees with you on your opinion of Jimmy Garoppolo. And now apparently Trey Lance. Why would any team feel differently about Trey Lance than you do? They haven't seen Trey Lance. You kept him on the bench. You kept him behind closed doors. You're telling the league that you think Sam Darnold's better. Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle are telling the league that they think Sam Darnold's better. And then you're looking around being like, why aren't we getting any good offers for Trey? Because the league thinks Sam Darnold's trash, and the league thinks that you think that Trey Lance is even worse than Sam Darnold, who they think is trash. That's the equation. You didn't figure that out? It's 2 + 2. The 49ers are so good at doing everything except managing the quarterback position. They get guys hurt. They try to trade them. They tank the trade value themselves. So this is it. The rest of the offseason is the Trey Lance pump and dump project that will go nowhere because no one in the league believes him. So, any picture on their website doesn't going to count. Any glowing report at camp it's not going to count. What they're going to need is to see him in regular season games. So yeah, get ready for Trey Lance to start week one. And what's funny is, let's say Trey Lance plays and he doesn't play well, and then they go back to Brock. Well, pump and dump, unsuccessful. All of that was for nothing. You actually probably reduced his trade value. But let's say, in spite of everything, Trey Lance gets to start week one for the wrong reasons. Not because the Niners believe in him, but because they're trying to trade him. He starts week one. They don't believe in him. He goes out there, and he's a gamer. Finds a way to win. Stays out there for a few games. Improves. Niners win. Offense is looking good. What happens then? Pump and dump successful? Trade Trey Lance because Brock's coming back of a torn UCL with no offseason, and you have Sam Darnold waiting. He's friends with people? Or do you say, wow, hey, maybe we were wrong about Trey. Maybe instead of pumping up his trade value and dumping him on a team for whatever, less than what we traded for, why don't we just keep him? That's interesting. I wonder if this pump and dump strategy actually backfires in the sense that it gives Trey Lance the opportunity he needs to get a foothold for this job here. Wouldn't that be funny? Because it hasn't exactly been an equal opportunity quarterback room yet. But maybe the effort to trade Trey Lance will be the opportunity he needs to prove himself to this team. I don't know. All I'm saying is, I think it's hilarious that the Niners are doing the, why would anyone think that we don't like Trey Lance? That is funny. And I give you major props for at least trying.